Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. It's Valentine's Day. Do I have a Valentine? I don't think so. I mean, I'm recording this on Tuesday, so as of yet, no, I don't have a Valentine. It's okay. I'll be my own Valentine, right? Uh, but we are going to talk about the movie Freaky Friday, and I'm going to talk about the version with Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan. So, obviously, if you haven't watched it, you need to watch it. It's a really good movie. But in the movie, I'll explain the movie. In the movie, there's Jamie Lee Curtis, who is Lindsay Lohan's mom, and they're at odds, right? They're always bumping heads. Lindsay Lohan her character is in a band, and she likes this guy named Jake, who her mother doesn't approve of because he rides a motorcycle, and the mom is just an overworked, person who's really conservative, and she's getting married, and Lindsay Lohan's character is mad because her mom is getting remarried after her Lindsay Lohan's dad passed away. So they all go out to a Chinese restaurant, and I'm just gonna call them by the first names. Jamie and Lindsay get into an argument at the table, so they go off to a quiet section of the restaurant and they're arguing. So the mom of the restaurant owner sees this, and she brings them to fortune cookies, and they say, not now. And she was like, no, now's a good time. So they each open the fortune cookie. Lindsay's in the bathroom, Jamie's outside the door. They both open the fortune cookie, and the fortune cookie reads, "A journey soon begins. Its prize reflected in another's eyes. When what you see is what you lack, then selfless love will change you back." And they're reading this together, and as soon as they read that, there's an earthquake, and that's when they switch bodies. Or no, there's an earthquake, and they're like, oh, okay. And when they wake up the next morning, their bodies are switched, right? So this movie is really about a unique perspective, okay? Lindsay sees what it's like being her mom, because Lindsay told her mom that, oh, your life is so perfect. And Jamie's like, you think my life is perfect? This and this and this and this. And this is what really creates this need for unique perspective. Lindsay seeing life from her mom's perspective, and Jamie seeing life from her daughter's perspective. And the reason I decided to do a video on this is because I like the premise of unique perspective. Okay? There's a real need for us to be able to have that unique perspective. Let's look at some situations. Millionaires. Okay, how many times do people look at millionaires and they're like, oh man, I wish I could be a millionaire, and I can have like a soft life and do what I want and buy what I want and this and this and that, right? Then there's the Freaky Friday thing, where people who are at or below poverty level suddenly become an instant millionaire. 10 million, 20 million. Now they're in the shoes of the millionaire. And what happens? They see how difficult it is to be a millionaire. They see how difficult it is to have to shoo away people who are now with their hands out asking for money. How difficult it is to manage the money. They don't see it as, okay, now I need to go to a financial advisor. I need to put my money in investments. No, they're like, I'm a millionaire now, and I can just do what I want. And within a couple of years, they're broke, right back where they were again, right? In the movie, Lindsay, at first, when she becomes her mom, she notices that she opens her wallet and notices all the cash, all the credit cards, everything. And she's like, ooh, shopping spree. So she goes out and she buys new clothes, and she gets a piercing, and she gets a haircut. And all of a sudden, all of her devices start going off. Her her pager, her BlackBerry, her phone, all of this stuff. And she's like, whoa, 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 what's going on, right? And so she finally gets to her office and she realizes, at first, it's kind of like she's screwing around with the patients, right? But as it goes on, she starts to really realize, man, my mom's life isn't as perfect as I think it is, And it's that unique perspective. At first, when, I'm just going to say lower income people become instant millionaires, at first there's that, ooh, party time, let's go buy everything we want. But that wears off, doesn't it? The fun at the beginning wears off. And then it's like you lose everything. You have no more money. And you're like, well, now what do I do? Okay? You wanted to be in the millionaire shoes, you are put in the millionaire shoes. That's why I believe that Spirit does. Spirit's like, okay, the people who have become instant millionaires and then tanked, those are the universe's way of making them an example. All you people want to become millionaires and billionaires. Well, these people did, and look at what happened to them because they weren't prepared to receive. Okay? They thought that being a millionaire was all glamour and freedom, and it's not. It's more work to be a millionaire or a billionaire than it is to live at or below poverty level. Okay? And I know that's probably a controversial statement, but you have to look at it. If you're at or below poverty level, yeah, you're struggling financially. You have to apply for benefits, which is a pain in the ass. Hey, sorry. The struggle is real, right? And then you look at millionaires and you're like, there's no struggle there. But then you're put into the shoes of a millionaire. You have nice word. Okay, you have taxes. You have people knocking at your door. You have charities wanting you to give to them. You have to figure out, how am I going to keep my money? I have to put it in stocks. I have to pay for this. Okay? The struggle on both sides is real. They're just different struggles. Okay? And there's a need to see it from that perspective. Okay? Spoiled kids. Spoiled brats, kids whose parents just spoil them. Okay? Usually spoiled kids end up to be criminals. A lot of times they end up to be influencers, and then what happens? Downfall of this influencer, downfall of that influencer, right? And then the kids that are not spoiled, the kids that have lack are like, man, Bobby just gets whatever he wants. He's so lucky. But what Jimmy doesn't realize about Bobby is his parents use money and stuff, and they give this stuff to Bobby, but they're not there for their son. They don't take him to the park. They don't take him on vacation. They don't do this with him. They don't do that with him. So Bobby over here, yeah, he's spoiled. And what does he do? He identifies with money. He identifies with stuff because he can't identify with love. He can't identify with supportive, amazing parents because his parents don't care. That's why they spoil him. Okay? And then, and Jimmy doesn't know that maybe Bobby is looking at Jimmy and saying, hey, trying to be funny. Hey, Jimmy, what are you going to do for the weekend? You're going to go dig in a dumpster? And Jimmy's like, no, my family and I are going to the zoo, or my family and I are going to, the theme park, or we're going on vacation. And Bobby's like, lame. But inside he's like, God, Jimmy is so lucky. I wish my parents would do things like that for me. So you can see the Freaky Friday, right? I was watching Super Nanny, and there was a woman. I'm not even gonna call her a woman. I'm gonna call her a girl. Hey. So, Super Nanny. There's this girl. She was probably 23, and she had, was it 2 kids or 3? I don't remember, but they were really little, like I think 7, 5, and then a baby or something like that. And the problem is that she would go to work. Well, she lived with her parents, and she would go to work. Parents watch the kids, but she would come home and go up to her room while her parents took care of the kids. Parents would take care of the kids, put the kids to bed, wake the kids up for school. So I guess they were a little bit older. Wake the kids up for school, daycare, and all that stuff, while the mom slept in till like 12 o'clock. Because I guess she worked like part-time in the evening, and so she would sleep until noon. And the mom would be like, I forgot what her name was. I was going to call her Janet. Janet, get up and take care of your kids. She's like, no, I want to sleep. Leave me alone. Belligerent brat. And she had 3 kids. But she was like, oh, my parents, I have this nice house that I live in. I have live-in babysitters. They're not doing anything else with their day, so they might as well take care of my kids. And then the parents are like, she is the mother of these 3 kids. I have her here because I'm not going to see my daughter and her kids out on the street. I am doing what I can. She should be grateful to me for taking care of her kids. And then the daughter's like, well, they're her grandkids, so she should take care of them. So you see the Freaky Friday, right? So what Joe did, Super Nanny, Joe, I love her. She took, so basically she told Janet, you are a spoiled brat. You don't know what it's like to have to struggle because you have a beautiful house. You have built-in babysitters. You have whatever you need. So she took this girl to a homeless shelter. It was like a homeless family shelter. It was a hotel, like an old hotel. And so they, I guess, it was like an old hotel, but it had like a kitchen and like a lobby area. And so this group turned all of these hotel rooms into rooms for single moms with kids, which is an amazing idea. That's also what sparked my Care and Compassion Center idea. But the rooms, it was a single room with a bathroom. And the women during mealtime, they would come down to the kitchen area, lobby area. It's all set up, and they would eat. But they would eat what was available. And this reminds me of when my daughter's dad and my daughter first came to Ohio in April of 2018. We had to go to a family shelter. And in this family shelter, it was a house. So we had our room, but it was a communal bathroom. And every morning we had to get up, we had to have all of our chores. We each got chores. And we had to complete our chores by 7 a.m. So we had to get up at like 5:30 in the morning to do our chores. Okay? Once the chores were done, then, whoever needed to go off to work went to work. I stayed back with my daughter to take care of her because she was still little. And also to take care of like applications for, food stamps and benefits and all that stuff. And looking for an apartment. And we had to share this house with other people. There was one TV, and there was always a battle for the remote, right? There's a battle for the remote. There's a battle for the washing machine. There's a battle for this. There's a battle for that. And in fact, there was a woman there named Sarah, her and her girlfriend, and the girlfriend's 3 kids. And I don't know why they had it out for me, but eventually they ended up causing me to have a panic attack so bad that I completely disassociated. It's like my soul left my body, and I was just sitting there like a lifeless mannequin. That's how bad it was. And I started actually cutting myself. Okay? But I went to the person that was in charge, and I told her what happened because I was sitting on the couch, and she opened the window. She's like, are you okay? And I just started bawling, and she was like, get in here quick. And I told her everything that happened, kicked Sarah out. But now that we're in our own apartment, it makes me feel so much gratitude because I'm like, I don't have to be in that situation anymore. So with this girl, they were like, the person who is running the what's it called? The homeless shelter. She said, look, Janet, you get to have your own house with your own car. You get to eat whatever you want. Go to bed and wake up whenever you want. But yeah, the person who was running the center said, Janet, you have so much freedom, yet you lack so much gratitude. And Janet's like, yeah, whatever. I don't even know why I'm here. I don't even know why I need to see this. I'm not interested. That was probably the one Super Nanny. I love watching Super Nanny. I actually got a lot of good tips in raising my kids from Super Nanny. But anyway, I was so, but you know what? I think it triggered me so much because I was her when I was younger. But I mean, I didn't force my mom to take care of my kids while I slept all day. No, I got up and I took care of my kids. And I had to do that because my mom was actually trying to take away my kids from me. So I had to make sure my kids were protected at all times. But that's another story. Anyway, it's that Freaky Friday, right? And I commented on that video and I said, I watched it on YouTube and I was like, I was that girl at one point when I was younger. And because this Janet, she had a boyfriend that lived in Colorado or whatever, and this was in another state. And so she's like, you know what? I'm going to take my kids and leave and go live with my boyfriend. Someone she'd only known like a month. And she's going to move in with this guy with her 3 kids. And it's like, but for me to sit here and judge her, I can't judge her because I was her. And I'm like, but it's that, you know what? Yeah, you have your own space. The person who ran I keep calling her that. So I'll name her Alice, the one who runs the homeless shelter. She's like, Alice says, look, Janet, here, you don't get to wake up when you want. Here, you have to wake up and do chores. You don't get to lay around and watch TV all day. Here, you have to either get a job or work around here. You don't, in your house, you get to eat whatever you want. Here, no. You eat what we have. You don't get a choice. Which brought me back to the homeless shelter I stayed in. Yeah, we would have donations of food, and like frozen, like there's like this huge like freezer, and it was the organizers of the homeless shelter who would say, tonight we're having chicken. Caroline, it's your turn to cook. Chicken, go. And I'm like, okay. But everybody loved when I cooked because everybody loved my cooking. I was only one in the house who knew how to cook properly. But so I was happy to cook. But it was that. Now I'm here and I'm like, for me to sit here and say, oh, this isn't the place that I want to live in. It's this place, it's a low income apartment complex. The windows leak, the doors aren't fitted properly. But I'm like, you know what? I am so grateful for this apartment. I have my own room. I have my own bathroom. I have a kitchen. I can eat whatever I want. I can move around this apartment wherever I want. I have freedom. Okay? And that's what this girl Janet doesn't understand. I called her the super nanny brat. She doesn't understand that she could be in that homeless shelter with 3 kids, having to fend for herself. Okay? When it comes to this Freaky Friday thing, it's really about gratitude. Okay? Yeah, you may not have the nicest car or the nicest place to live or everything you desire, but it's so, so, so important to have gratitude for what you have. To know that it could be worse. A lot of people, they see homeless out on the street and they scoff at them, right? Ugh, go get a job. Like it's so easy. I was homeless, sleeping on the street twice in my life. It's not so easy to go out and get a job when you're homeless. When you're sleeping on the street, you can't just hop in the shower. You can't just go to the store and get clothes for work. You can't just, okay? Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Like that story I told when I was homeless in Santa Monica. A woman gave me her leftovers from a restaurant. I was so grateful that I was in tears. I was so hungry. I didn't care that they were her leftovers. I didn't care that she didn't bring a fork. And to this day, it brings tears to my eyes because of what she said. I'm sorry I don't have a fork for you. And the reason why it brings tears to my eyes is because I'm like, I don't need a fork. It was so cute. It was so sweet. I don't need a fork. I ripped the corner of the box up and I turned it into a spoon and I ate it. I'll eat it with my hands. By her giving me that meal, it might as well have been $1 million to me. That's how grateful I was for her to do that for me. I've been on the other side. I understand. Okay? But the problem here is the inability to see things from another person's perspective. To maybe put themselves in their shoes. Okay? I saw this, it was a British show. I forgot what it's called. Put it here. But they took like rich kids, like teenagers, young adults who were like born into rich families, spoiled, got everything they want, and they had them live with a poor family for a week. And at first they're like, oh my gosh, I won't be able to go shopping or have lunch with my friends or go. No, you're gonna live with a homeless family for a week. Or not a homeless family, a poor family for a week. And at first they were like, oh my God, how can people live this way? Like, are you serious? But as the time they went on, they were living in the shoes of someone much less fortunate than them. And they came out of it probably not completely changed, but with a new appreciation for what they had. They were like, man, I'm so abundant and grateful for what I have. You know, and it makes you, and for just like low income people suddenly become instant millionaires and really realizing how hard it is to be a millionaire. Millionaires living in the shoes of someone homeless or low income, okay? And realizing how hard that life is. It gives them a new appreciation for what they have, okay? Not to say that low income people who suddenly become millionaires have an appreciation, you know, being a millionaire suddenly gives them appreciation, but it puts them in the shoes, just like in Freaky Friday when Lindsay told Jamie, oh, your life is so perfect. And Jamie's like, my life is not perfect. But stepping into Jamie's shoes, she realized, oh my God, your life isn't perfect. Your life is a lot harder than mine. It gave Lindsay a new perspective and a new appreciation for her life. Same with Jamie. It gave Jamie a new love and appreciation for her life because she was like, man, being a teenager is hard. Because she told Lindsay had a test or something, and she's like, oh, I could ace that for you, no problem. And she took the test and she was like, what is this gibberish? It was an algebra test or something. She's like, I don't even know what this is, you know? And so she had a new appreciation for her daughter. So next time you find yourself judging someone else for their lifestyle, for their lack of lifestyle, try to put yourself in their shoes. You don't have to go looking for an old Chinese lady with fortune cookies. But remember, when what you see is what you lack, selfless love will change you back. Selfless love, gratitude, charity. Okay? So, that was my video. Freaky Friday. Happy Valentine's Day. If you're going out, remember to be safe. If you're staying in, just enjoy yourself. If you don't have a Valentine, make yourself your Valentine. Pamper yourself. You know, buy yourself some roses or buy yourself some candy. If you're like me and you don't have any money at all, I'm just going to chill out for the rest of the day. Lay in bed, maybe watch some romantic movies. I think we have some ice cream, maybe have some ice cream. Pamper yourself. Valentine's Day is about pampering. So even if you don't have a Valentine's date, pamper yourself. So that was my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Monday, I am going to do a video called Reality is Perception. It's going to be about how this reality, everyone's reality is just how they perceive reality. There's no one true reality. It's how we perceive it. But I'm not going to talk about that right now. I'm going to talk about that on Monday. So have a beautiful day. All of my information is down below. Again, if you would like a free personal reading, if you would like free help on anything, if you have anything that you need help on healing, if you need help on talking about anything, just send me an email, send me a DM. I'll be happy to offer that for you. Like I told my tarot audience, all of these services I offer are free. And why are they free? Because like I said, I've said it before, it's a basic human right. Just because we see ourselves as humans does not mean we're not spiritual. We are spiritual beings living a human existence. So spiritual health is just as important as physical, mental, and emotional health. And I don't think it should cost an arm and a leg to get that to up your spiritual health. So again, all of my information is down below. Services, ways to donate, social media, all that stuff is down below. Thank you guys for watching again. Remember to live in and spread love, joy, compassion, gratitude, kindness, charity, peace, and enlightenment. Have a beautiful day, week, weekend, month, year, life, and I will see you next time.